So, if you're one of the 3,300 businesses linked indirectly or directly to tourism, or you're one of the 12,500 people who are employed in those businesses, this blog is for you. What I want to explain is one decision by Mayor Oliver can put thousands of jobs at risk and damage your business, and we need a solution for that. I'm going to give a little bit of a background of why there is this danger and then a solution to the problem, because boy, do we need to find that solution. In 2005, Torbay Council carried out what is known as their tourism strategy for 10 years. It should now be over. In 2005, they recognised that tourism was on the decline in the English Riviera and something needed to be done. So they set up a joint partnership between council and what we now know as the TDA. We roll forward 5 years. What happened? Well, the statistics don't bear good news, because unfortunately the value of tourism over that 5 years dropped from 585 million in 2005 to just over 504 million in 2010, a staggering £78 million drop in that 1 year. Something needed to be done. So there was a complete review on tourism and how we market the English Riviera, and a new organisation was set up called the English Riviera Tourism Company, a joint venture between council and private businesses with the goal of pooling money together that could then be used to market Torbay out to the international market, the national market and the regional market. So how did they do? Well, the tide was turned. In a matter of just 3 years, the figures went back up from 504 million to 585 million. In that last year, an extra 81 million pounds. Amazing, isn't it? Such good news. And yet, that organisation has been put at risk. One decision by our mayor. Why, oh why? He has fully cut, or he proposed to fully cut, the funding of that organisation, which effectively closes it. So instead of us growing and continuing to grow, we could go back to the same as before on the slide. I work out that if we carried on as we had before and go downwards another 78 million compared to going upwards 80 odd million, that's a whacking great big 150 plus million a year difference to Torbay's economy, which makes the cuts in the council budget look like peanuts. 150 million is 1.5 times the whole council's budget. So, do you have one of those jobs that is now in tourism? Do you have one of those businesses that's now in tourism? Do you want somebody who actually backs you, supports you and drives you on? Not pulls you down and cuts you and doesn't support you. There's a new organisation being looked at to take over from the ERTC. It's called the Torbay Retail and Tourism Business Improvement District. The goal is to link 3,300 businesses to help market once again the English Riviera, to improve on what's been done by the ERTC. It needs, though, our help. I believe council should help this organisation. I know that the retail industry is nervous. Why should they spend some of their money on all its operational costs, on the staffing? So what can we do? I am the only mayoral candidate who will link some of the council's budget to fund the operational costs of this organisation. I would pledge £250,000 put in the base budget of council to fund the operational costs for this organisation. And why would I do that? It's because the council needs to support our businesses. We need to encourage them to grow. If we encourage them to grow, actually some of the council's income increases, which then helps me, if I'm managing the budget for Torbay, to, instead of having further cuts, we have some rising income which limits those cuts. So it makes sense from a council point of view, it makes sense from a business point of view, and it makes sense for jobs, jobs, jobs. So that brings me to an end. This is hugely important. This is what I call the tsunami storm that could hit Torbay. Many people aren't fully aware of these figures, but they need to be, because it's paramount that a yes vote comes from the TRT bid to support retail, to support our accommodation providers, to support our attraction providers, to support the eateries, all the businesses that are involved in our wonderful English Riviera.